Want to build a stockpile on a budget, but you're not exactly sure how? I'm going to give you a list today of the things you can buy for $5 a week so you can start building a stockpile right now on a budget. I'm Kristen at Joyfully Thriving, and I'm excited that you're here today. I love having a stockpile, and I believe it's one of the best ways to save your family money. I've talked a lot about it before, and I have a whole playlist of stockpiling videos, which I'll leave in the description below. But a couple months ago, actually it was probably earlier this year already, I heard a great video by Patera at Patera's homesteading video, and I'll leave a link to that video below. And Patera suggested that everyone should start stockpiling 5 things every week. She left it very simple, and I thought it was a great idea. What I liked about this idea was that it left a lot of freedom to everyone. You could buy 5 cans of the same thing, you could buy 5 cans of different things, you could buy 5 things that were on sale, you could pay full price for anything. There was a lot of flexibility with that. And for me, I found that idea great. It was really simple to implement. You could do it however you wanted. And by buying just 5 cans a week, over the course of a year, that adds up to adding 260 cans to your stockpile, which is a lot. And by cans, I do mean more than just cans. I'm talking packages or boxes, anything that you are stockpiling food-wise. But as much as I liked that idea, and I know very well what my family needs in our stockpile, I realized it's very overwhelming to a lot of people. And a lot of people are trying to figure out how to build their stockpile on a budget, especially when things are so tight right now. I am convinced that you can build a stockpile on only $5 a week, and I wanted to prove it. So I came up with a bunch of checklists to help people do that. And that's what I'm going to share with you right now. Everything I came up with on these checklists is based using the Walmart everyday low prices. I know there's a lot of different stores around, and I personally like to shop the sales, and that's how I build my stockpile. But I wanted to prove that you could do this using a store that is nationwide and does have everyday low prices. I know not everyone has access to Aldi, but Walmart is one of those that in the US, pretty much everyone has access to. So all of these prices that I'm going to share are current as of November 2022, and that's how I came up with these prices. So I call this my 52-week stockpile checklist, and it's everything that you can buy for $5 a week. If you go through this checklist exactly as it's written, by the end of the year, you will have 207 things added to your stockpile in a wide variety of things. Again, if your family doesn't use this is not by all means the must-have list, but it is intended to be helpful. If your family doesn't use any of these things, don't purchase them. Buy what your family will eat and use. But I tried to go for a variety of items at a variety of price points so you would start developing a well-rounded stockpile. So I'm going to go through and start sharing with you some of those things that are on the list. Here we go. So we start with 10 canned vegetables at 50 cents each. That's $5. Great way to start. Any canned vegetables, canned corn, green beans, any of those things. 4 canned fruits at $1.28 equals $5.12. Next thing to add. 5 canned tomatoes at 88 cents times 5, that's $4.40. And that can be your petite diced tomatoes, your crushed tomatoes, any kind of tomato product, your Rotel at that. 3 jars of spaghetti sauce, $1.48 times 3 is $4.44. 5 boxes of spaghetti, 92 cents times 5 is $4.60. 5 boxes of pasta. So this is the other kinds of varieties of pastas, whatever kind you like. Also 92 cents times 5 is $4.60. 1 jar of applesauce, $2.96. 1 bag of sugar at $2.84. That's a 4-pound bag of sugar for $2.84. 1 10-pound bag of flour for $3.98. It's cheaper to buy the 10-pound bag instead of buying the 2 separate 5-pound bags, which is why I have it that way. 3 jars of peanut butter at $1.74 is $5.22, a little bit over, but I think peanut butter is a very important thing to have in your pantry. It's a good source of protein, very shelf stable. 2 cans of soup, and by this I mean the Progresso type soup where you don't have to add water, you don't have to add anything, it's just ready to serve as is. So that's $2.18 times 2 is $4.36 for that week. 6 cans of tuna at 80 cents is $4.80. 6 cans of beans, 78 cents. And this could be your canned beans, your black beans, your pinto beans, your kidney beans, whatever type your family likes. 78 cents times 6 is $4.68. 5 spices, the great value spices, are still right at $1, so you can buy 5 of those for $5. Now here is where you're going to start seeing some repeats. We have, again, 10 cans of vegetables, $5. 4 cans of fruits, $1.28 times 4, $5.12. So that's, again, right above, but important to have shelf-stable fruits. 5 cans of tomatoes, 3 jars of spaghetti sauce, 5 bags of spaghetti, 5 boxes of pasta, 6 canned beans, your bag of sugar, your bag of flour, 3 jars of peanut butter, 2 cans of soup, and 1 can of chicken. $3.62 times 1 is $3.62. Now that list right there, that's 26 weeks. So that's half your year. So what you're going to do then basically is keep repeating that list. The only exception is that I added jam and jelly on the other side in place of applesauce. You can substitute with this list. The beauty of it for you is what I just wanted to show you, that it is possible. All of these things in multiple items are under $5 a week. You're not going over that mark, and you are adding a wide variety of things to your stockpile that your family will use. It is very possible to do this, and I hope you'll agree that it's an easy thing to do when you have a checklist like this. You can just go through your checklist, check things off 1 week at a time. Now you may say, okay, I have more money than that. I found $10 in my budget this week that I can spend. Great. Go ahead and double your items that you're buying for this week, or check 2 things off the list. There is so much flexibility with these checklists. When I compiled these, I actually came up with 10 different checklists, and I call them all my 52-week stockpiling checklists. So I have this by the $5 mark. I have 5 items. I came up with a couple of my own 5 items using the most commonly stockpiled things. And then I have some that are a mix and match. It's a little bit, some that I have filled in and some that are blank for you to fill in if you like some things and want to substitute. And of course, I have a completely blank one if you want to create your own stockpiling checklist. All of these are completely free to you. I've offered them up to my newsletter subscribers through my website, but if you want to sign up for those, I'll leave the link in the description below, and I'd love for you to grab them as well. I created these checklists to be helpful. I want them to be a resource as people are building their own stockpiles. So, a couple things to remember again, like I've said before. Take these checklists and use them to build your stockpile for the things that your family needs. Use them as you see best. Like I've said before, a stockpile is the best emergency fund you can have for your family. It will help prepare you for whatever is to come. So what should you do? Go ahead and grab those checklists. Like I said, the link's in the description below. If you like these videos, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more. But I'm also going to leave a link for you, and go ahead and check out my baby steps to building a stockpile. Between these checklists and the baby steps, you'll have everything you need to start building a stockpile for your family on a budget. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I'd love to know what you think is the most important thing to stockpile for under $5 a week. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.